Hey ladies and gents, it's Zembak, and we are doing the new review, old review, new review. So I'm going to do both of these tanks. It's going to be a super long video. If you don't like it, fucking skip through to the good parts, whatever, I don't care. So we're going to do the Kanonenjagdpanzer 90mm, and we're going to do the new Kanonenjagdpanzer, Jagdpanzer 105. So if you don't know, you can trade your old Kanonenjagdpanzer in for the new one, and the 105 version of it, or you can buy the 105 in a little bit when they open it up for everybody. That's not a fucking premium. Yeah, I love these pre-sales. Nothing says superiority like getting tanks before everybody else. Whatever. So we're gonna do two of these two tanks together. We're gonna compare them. We're gonna see them in action. Yeah. So what is this tank? Well, in late 1950s. The German military had a bunch of 90mm guns from obsolete tanks, specifically the Patton, and they're like, well, what are we going to do with these things? So, and at the time, the 90mm on the Patton was still a pretty good gun. It could deal with most everything that was coming from Russia at the time. So the Germans like, well, okay, let's go back to World War II, and let's look at some of and essentially this tank is just a continuation of the Jagdpanzer IV, and obviously you can definitely tell by looking at the two of them that this is, essentially a evolution to get to the Kanonenjagdpanzer here. So in 1960, they built the first prototype of this vehicle. They installed the 90mm off of the Patton in it, and they proceeded to produce all the way up to 1967, I believe, about 770 of these vehicles. Very lightly armored, high mobility, and very, very low slung. About the late 60s, early 70s, the Russians introduced, of course, the T-64, the T-72, and the 90mm wasn't so hot. They didn't think this gun was going to do well against the new new Russian armor. So the companies that were producing this tank, the K-Panzer, I guess I always like to call it, decided that, well, you know what, we could probably take the 90mm out and we could stick a 105mm L7 into it. Unfortunately, I don't believe, and somebody could probably correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't see anywhere or could find anywhere if there was actually one of these things ever shoehorned into the K-Panzer. But they might have been. I don't think so. It never went in production. There was never a production made of these tanks with the 105mm. So that's the history of where this came from. This tank continued on into the early 80s when they decided to take the guns off, and I believe about a little bit over 160 of these tanks were fitted with TOW missiles, and then eventually phased out of use by 1990. So that's the history of the K-Panzer. Yeah, interesting. So what do we get in game? Well, like I said, we have two of these now. You can trade your old one in and get the 105, or you can buy the 105 and keep your 90mm. Yeah, so the one with the 90mm, we have 240 average damage per minute, 238 average penetration, 11.29 rate of fire, 5.32 reload time. And this, of course, is just with a 100% crew, and I'm not quite to the first BIA on this tank. If you've watched my tank reviews on these, you know my reasoning behind not showing you a bunch of shit like putting food directives or an insane, like my Jagdpanther 2 and crew in here with 76% on the 6th skill, kind of defeats the purpose of what you're going to be training crews in this tank. So I started out with 100% crew in this tank. I've had this tank for a long time. Haven't played it much. The original concept behind this was going to be a Tier 8 E25. Yeah, well, it wasn't accepted quite as well because E25, of course, is preferential matchmaking. This one's not. And then with the 357 matchmaking, this thing you fucking hardly ever see on the battlefield just because of that reason. It's the pew-pew gun. That 240 average damage per minute, yeah, it does have a very high rate of fire, but it's not that fucking scary, right? I've gotten a lot of 190 rolls, and you're shooting a fucking IS-7. IS-7's like, huh? Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, the actual tank is fun. It is very quick, and you're going to watch the videos when I'm talking about the mobility of this tank. So, yeah, with that said, back to this. 11.29, 5.32 reload time, 23.47 gun traverse speed, -8 degrees, 15 elevation, yeah, and 15 degrees of gun traverse limits, 1.69 aim time, 0.3 dispersion, and 2,700 average damage per minute. You throw all the little baddie things, all the rest, the full BIA crew on it and everything else on this, you can get over 2,800 damage out of it. Add food and all, and you want to do directives and all that kind of stuff. You can turn this, yeah, a real DPM little monster. 1,200 for the hit points. Fucking cheese, more cheese. I mean, we're not even talking about cheese. This is Swiss cheese. You have no armor, and believe me, I think I've bounced one shot of probably 500 that I've been hit by. Yeah, and when I'm talking about really weak armor, I've been one-shotted by T-92s. I've been one-shotted by the Borsig, firing an HE shell, hit me right here in the side, took all of my life. Yeah, so this tank, I've been hit by Tier 6 already doing 600 damage. Don't get spotted. Just don't, because this thing does not do well against an HE shell anywhere on it. Yeah, the front is your best bet. And even that's pretty suspect. 29.5 full load, 500 for the horsepower, 19.19 specific power to weight ratio, 70 top speed, and this thing can get to it. Yes, it is that quick. 49.07 traverse speed. This thing reminds me of more of a light tank than an actual tank destroyer. It is fucking fast, really fast. 27.6, 6.57. It's got a decent, yeah, I'll give you right up. It's got a very decent camo rating. 405 for the view range, 766 for the signal range. Not too shabby. Kanonenjagdpanzer. This is what the big dog does for you. 390, 216 average penetration, 5.93 rate of fire, and a 10.1. This is, of course, with a 89% on the BIA. This you can get down probably around 10, maybe a little bit under for this. However, it's the bigger alpha and the better penetration that really makes this tank scary. Okay, 8 degrees gun depression, 15, 1.69 aim time, 0.3 dispersion, and of course the lower average damage per minute than the 90mm, which really isn't that big a thing. Like I said, this gun actually makes tanks think about when they get hit. Where the 90mm, oh fuck, I just got hit for 190. Big deal. This thing will kind of scare them. 1,050 hit points, a little less hit points than the regular Conan. 29.5 tons, engine power is 500, and a slightly 18.94 for the specific horsepower, 70-20, 49.07 for the traverse speed. A little bit better camouflage, I believe. No, sorry. And then, of course, I got binocs on here instead of the coated optics. This one I was trying out with the coated optics because you do move around quite a bit. So I was kind of curious to see if bush camping with the binocs or something with the coated optics were going to make the difference. So let's bring up the actual comparison between the two, and we can really see the difference between the two of them. The firepower actually goes to the K-Panzer 90mm, and you know, just obviously because of the rate of fire is the only reason. This one's fucking scarier with the 390 compared to the 240, and of course the much higher penetration. Everything else is pretty much the same. You know, like I said, obviously the difference between the average damage per minute, a little more HP for the K-Panzer, the K90 compared to the K105, and of course hull armor is the same. Blah blah blah. Now this is where it gets a little funky right here. This is the one real big difference. Is the specific power to weight ratio. I mean, it's not really a whole bunch, but you can honestly, you can kind of feel it a little bit. I think this one's a little bit more mobile, especially on the turn compared to this one, but you know, that's just me. Concealment, once again, concealment of moving vehicle. This one's got a little bit more advantage, and of course the view range doesn't really, that's because I'm running the other one. Same with the yeah, so that the difference between the two, really what we're talking about here is, of course, the higher DPM. This is the higher alpha. That's probably the real big difference between these ones. So with that said, however, once again, like the fucking HE damage this thing takes is ridiculous from artillery and other tanks firing HE. So don't get spotted. This is Scorpion-esque type bullshit when you get hit by an HE shell. I mean, the Scorpion G, yeah, it sucks fucking HE shells. This one does too. So if you're not really excited about that kind of stuff, don't. Probably not your kind of tank. So with that said, I'm going to bring up some of the gameplay. I'm going to do the K-Panzer 90mm first, then I'll do the K-Panzer 105, and kind of give you guys a couple games. Actually, some of it's going to be short clips for the K-Panzer. I just want to show you the mobility of this. That's the strongest thing about these tanks, or at least originally the K-Panzer 90mm, is just the sheer mobility of where you can do and how you can do and where you can go with this thing, the early shots and all that kind of stuff. Of course, the gun handling on both these tanks are very good. A lot of people have compared the K-Panzer 105 to the whatever the fuck that French one is. Yeah, the 105. This thing right here. I don't mind this tank. It's actually got, to a certain degree, the better gun stats. But this motherfucker right here will hit everything plus or minus 12 meters each side of the tank. And I've been let down by this gun more times than I can count. These two, this is German accuracy at its finest. You don't get let down by this gun. Very rarely. Stat-wise, like I said, the AMX has got probably better actual gun stats, but it's troll as fuck. These two right here, where you point that gun is where it's gonna go. It's just they're just phenomenally good guns. If you like good gun handling, if you don't like the bullshit that you get with the Russian TDs, these things, like I said, are sniper rifles. Yeah, railguns. You know, of course, they're never going to be as good as, you know, the Jagd Tiger 128. That's just, you know, personal preference. But yeah, these guns are very, very good. They don't really miss unless you know, get some bullshit RNG or you're just aiming badly. So with that said, I'll bring up the gameplay for you guys to see these bad boys in action. So for the first part of the video, I'm just going to give you a little bit of idea of the mobility of this tank. This is the K90, the Kanonenjagdpanzer 90mm. The mobility on these tanks are fucking insane. I mean, we're talking pretty. You're gonna have a hard time, you know, circling this tank in a light tank, or even a medium tank. You know, here I just worked over a T95 pretty easily. The next part here is actually me in the 105. The mobility is very similar to each other, I mean, almost identical. And here my prey is a fucking E25 who is on the run. Yeah, the little fucking cockroach is on the run, and I'm chasing him down. He shot me twice, I think, with APCR. Yeah, I love those kind of guys here. And as you can see, speed-wise, maneuverability, mobility, whatever you want to call it, he's not he's not going to get away. Yeah, so I'm just gonna. Yep, here we go. Like I said, 105 on this. This is the 105. Hit the tank. Come on, Zam. What the fuck? And we are on the run. Like I said, he just can't get away from me. This tank is that quick. So finally, there we go. Get the critical hit, and dead cockroach. Yep, there he goes. So just kind of give you an idea of what the mobilities on these tanks are. So we will bring the first two games will be 90mm, the K-Panzer 90mm, which is, of course, like I said, the higher DPM, shooty, pewy, that kind of stuff. The nice thing about these tanks is the ability to get in position to take shots. And I'm gonna work my way up here to this set of bushes here. I'm not a really big fan of this map, but it is what it is. So I back up. I'm kind of curious if there's going to be anything poking up on top of this hill. And no, but I do pick up the Kanonenjagdpanzer coming through here. So I'll put a shell in there. I go way too high for some reason. And of course I get spotted because, you'll see shortly, there is another K-Panzer up on top of the hill who was able to spot me. Fucking APCR, really? Yeah. So, hit for 300 right off the bat, and we're just going to have to play this for what it is. Which, in this case, is going to be an utter shit show, as usual. I'm actually going to do a whole video on this T-95 sitting back here on this track. I mean, good God, people. They're assault tanks for a reason. Sitting back in a bush or out of view range or whatever you're going to do, that's not what you do with that tank. However, this video, even though we did lose, kind of highlights the strengths and the weaknesses of this tank. Once again, when I talked about it in the garage, some of the weakness of the tank, of the gun handling's awesome. It's just the alpha, and some of these guys just whatever. I just got hit for 200, big deal. So I'm on the run here. I've noticed the south side of the map here is turning into shit, so I'm gonna move my way over here to support the Ferdinand, the Centurion 71, and I drive right the fuck past these two guys because they are still trying to snipe down the center of that. Yeah. On the move, and I'm going to find me a bush here. I got two Object 430s, a Progetto, and an IS-3. So move up in here. Quick aim time, nice accuracy. Pick up the IS-3, 239. If he wouldn't have been full, if he was, full health, he wouldn't be exactly scared. Same way with this Object 416, 254. I'm not scary. I'm not scary enough, I should say. 218 or 210. Yeah, I'm just not scary enough to make these guys back the fuck off. Misses a shot on the 416. Finally find the IS-3. There you go, buddy. Stick through there. 238 pens, plenty good enough to deal with these tanks. Even the Tier 9 Object 416. Oh, there, 215. Nice. See what I can do. Can't quite get another shot into him. And of course I have these 419s coming in here. Or 430s, I'm sorry. And let's see, we'll just put one right in the side of your turret. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, at this point, we're pretty much fucked. It's time to get on the move. Once again, highlighting the real great mobility of this tank to get in and out of trouble. On the run, down we go. I have the speed to get away, and I'm not terribly worried about it. Moving to reposition myself. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Pretty much fucked. T-95 is sitting on the track the whole fucking game. So I'm gonna try to get up in here and try to get into a position where I can possibly shoot the stuff that's coming from the other side. So get into the bushes. I know I saw the Kanonenjagdpanzer and the Kanonenjagdpanzer up on the hill. Pick up the Wheezy, put the first shell in there, and honestly, I don't know how the fuck I got shot. Yep, there's that fucking APCR spamming Kanonenjagdpanzer. Yeah, and he hits me again for 298. Really, that gun never rolls that high. Not two shots. He's hit me twice for that much. Pull over here for the T-44. Hit my ammo rack. Yeah, one of those kind of starts off. This was like probably the third game. I did my usual. Actually, I think I only did 7 for this game and 10 for the other one. But whatever. See if we can't pick anything up here. Nothing. And up we go. T-34 is pushing through. T-30 is pushing out here. We got the SU-100. And the fucking T-95 chooses to shoot the low health T-34. SU-101. SU-101. is pushing over here on the T-95, so I'm pretty sure he's going to pop the track. So we'll just hang out here and see what happens. Moving back and forth because the artillery loves this tank. And for the most part, excuse me, is always trying to one-shot him because it doesn't take much. And I get a little too high. Didn't get the underplay here. One more shell. Come on. Put a shell in there. 416 actually fucking... Or I'm sorry, the SU-101 actually didn't pen. So, I'm fucking dead. Yep, there we go. Lovely. So, that was the game, one of the games here in the 90 mil, the K-Panzer 90 mil. Kind of showing you some of the weaknesses, of course. The odd, great mobility. Gun's just, and I can't really bitch about the gun because it's a really good fucking gun. At tier fucking 6. I mean, 240 average damage. It takes a lot of shots to kill a tank, especially 8s, 9s, and 10s with this gun. So unless you can get into the right position to do that much damage, it's situational. And that's, like I said, for the most part, that's these lightly skinned, high mobility tanks. It is situational, and if you don't get a decent map, you're going to be having trouble. So I'll pull off here to the side here and see what we can find. Hopefully something crosses in my path, because I would really like that. However, we do have 2 Cromwells, a Panther, and hopefully some eyes here. There's an E-25 in the game, of course, and we're going to see here 2801. He's rolling around. We don't have, for some reason, our light tanks had gone up the hill. Yeah, the T-37's up on the hill. Once again, this map is all about vision, and if you don't have it, you're gonna get fucked. And luckily, this didn't quite end up too bad. Look, they're pretty shady there for a while. Good camo on the tank. Of course, find a bush, park in the bush, shoot out of bush, kill stuff. Doesn't have to be in a bush. Now, the Wheezy 131 made it all the way up there with that fucking SU-100M1 sitting right there. So, take another shot at the 2801. Come on, one more time. Where are you at? Where are you at? Oh, there you go. Stops. And I got my first 45 and a kill. Right now, I should be just done. I should be happy. We should just move on to something else. Cromwell goes... I don't know what the fuck happened there. We've lost both Cromwells. And, of course, I got the little bastard in the Wheezy 131. I get spotted. It's time to move. They have 2 artillery pieces. And this tank doesn't do well with artillery. You're going to see this here shortly, what I'm talking about. On the move, we're trying to reposition, and this is one of those tanks that does cover flanks really well. You get some push on the other side, move into position, fucking light them up, do what you got to do. Same way if you got to run, because the tank's flank's getting overrun, you have the ability to do that. And I honestly, I don't mind the 90mm. It's just a little bit different playstyle. It just doesn't have that fucking shock factor that the 105 does. And of course, like I said, this tank is similar to the E-25. You can play it kind of as a scout. And the only reason you're seeing me do this is because, of course, we have fuck all with vision. So you know what? I got to do what I got to do. It's quick enough to get into the situation where I can just say, oh, there we go. Picks up the Wheezy and the E-25, and I'm just gonna fucking stroll around here and see what I can do. Try to keep them lit, and that's about the time. Yep, 5:38 from a M44. Now imagine if that was a 53-55 or a T-92, I'd be dead. Yeah. So, spotted the Wheezy 120. Finally, the T-44 shows up. I finally have some sort of fucking resemblance. And fuck you, Artie. Yeah, everybody wants to kill me. Pick up the Wheezy 120. And this is my general hatred for arty players. I just don't get it. So, we need those 2 artillery pieces. I'm trying for the fuck all to save as much as possible. There we go. A little too far. Put it in reverse. Yeah, that was Bicky, my own fucking artillery player. Nice job. So, kill the Wheezy 120. Should have just let him fucking kill you guys. Get stunned again. Yeah, it was kind of a shit show. So, back to the top here. And that's about the time I noticed the I-6, T-150 are all moving down the side here. So I want to pull up in here, see if I can get a shot on the Kanonenjagdpanzer. That's about the time I know the beautiful KP-85 hanging out. Backs up, puts a shell in there. There we go. And he's got about 471 health. So you know what? We'll just take that. Quick reload. Ooh, there we go. Get one there. And one more there for the kill. Finishes him off. And that's about the time I know the Kanonenjagdpanzer shows up. And the one fucking shot of all the games I played that the tank actually bounced something. Go figure. So, picking up more spotting than I am actually doing anything else here. Fucking M40. So, we got the SU-100 M1s no longer covering this flank. Artillery is over here. Majority of my team is on the other side of the map. So, Zem's like, yeah, you know what, I'm a little smarter than this. I'm going to go back and find me a bush. And I will try to, sadly, protect the artillery from getting squashed. Except for that fucking Bicky guy. He probably should die. But you know what? I'm one of them players that I'd rather win than continue with my insulting of my fellow players, such as the individual that dropped an artillery shell on me, tracked me, stunned me. Yep. So we're gonna hang out here for the bush over a little bit and make sure that E-25 is not trying to push down here and kill these 2 artillery pieces. You know, okay, there is the action, but they do have 2 artillery pieces in play, and of course the E-25 picks up the Kanonenjagdpanzer AX. Yeah. So we've pushed over here. E-25 has killed the M6 way the fuck on the other side of the map. All right. So at the time, nobody really knew. I actually hadn't seen that. I did now here, of course, in the replay. So I was assuming that he was probably still over here, fucking around in the corner, and shooting that shit. I don't know. Don't got no eyes. T-37 still fucking off over there. So we're on the move. They finally kill Biff Rampage. I'm sorry, Biff Rampage finally kills Justin Chow. And we're on the move. Now, if you notice the speed here of this thing on hard ground, you know, we're hitting 73 a few times kilometers an hour. Yeah, that's faster than just about every light tank at this tier, or as fast. So yeah, I can motor just about anywhere I want to go. God, I love that. I love that. One thing about this tank is the ability to relocate, move from spot to spot, and all that kind of stuff. This tank is not for everybody. If you'd like the pew pew guns, you're gonna do fine in it. If you don't like the pew pew guns, get the 105. This thing, you have to fire multiple rounds to even come close to finishing off a target. So finally was listening to the M6. He pointed out that he got shot from over here, and we get nothing. Still on the move here. So I'm running right pretty close to the T-37. We're looking for the dastardly E-25, who is probably hiding in a bush somewhere, waiting to shoot me. So that's about the time we get up to the there's Bicky. Yep. Thought about no. Fuck it. You can die. So E25 goes over. He's going to kill the M44. And on my back way over here to see the E25. So, up on the hill. Yeah, okay, it's time. Game's almost over with. We got this. Yeah, let's see here. Put the first snapshot in there. Hit him for 2. Oh, buddy. Put another one in there. And I got 43 health, right? Pick up the assisted damage. So, with the 471 from the other side for doing the KV-85, just a little bit over 1850 or 1800. So, that was the 90 mil. Now we are on to the K Panzer 105. And this is going to be, like I said, this is the big difference. Once again, you still have the mobility of the 90 mil. You don't have the DPM, but you have that big, beautiful 105 that has, even on the low rolls, tend to be mid 300s. You know? So it's got a little bit more the punch, right? The scary alpha. I mean, yeah, so I'm pegging shit that's, you know, got 1500 plus damage. I hit him with 300, 400 damage. Is a lot better than the low end of the 90. Excuse me, at night at 200 or 190 sometimes it rolls at. I mean, fuck, that gun just like, I mean, yeah, it hits everything, but with that low alpha, it takes a while to work through a tank. You know, if I got to shoot action 10s with, you know, 1900 plus HP, it does take a while. Even the T10 here. So the 121, he's playing a little bit dangerously. He's got the 430. Yeah, there's the Kanonenjagdpanzer. He's playing that tank smart. Just pulls up on the hill and fuck it, I'm going to shoot these guys. Can't quite get the shot down on him. Probably hit the dirt, I'm guessing. And I'm just kind of waiting. I'm outside of the view range here. Picks up the T30. Put a nice shot into them for 448 on the T30. And there's my Mr. T10. Now I'm going to flub a bunch of shots here. This game should have been like about a 4 or 5K game. You know, 4,500 damage, probably even closer. But I have a little bit of problem for some reason. Hitting things, probably because of how everything was sitting here. Pick up the conch. Can't quite get the shot down with that kind of angle. And most likely I was going to end up probably just bouncing off the side of his turret. So, pick up the T10. Okay, there's the action. Would really like to hit him. And if you notice, you see how the frickin' the reticle jumped that time? I had some issues. I don't know if it was a ping thing or what. So, missed the T30's armor. Of course I did. Right? Pick up the T10. He's coming through here. Oh, try to get the side of it. Apparently it must have hit the center of the tank, because fuck me, that should have pinned. Pick up the T30 again. Put it down the lower plate. Ah, there we go. Nice 380 roll. Like I said, even the low rolls on here, you know, you're doing some damage, right? That would have been the 90 mil, and that was a low roll. That would have been 190. Yeah, I'll take 380 any day of the week. So, pick up the Action 10. He's the best player on the other team, at least by clan tags. And we put a nice 382 into him, and we back him up a little bit. See how they, like I said, with the 382 damage, that's going to scare, you know, just give them a little bit of pause about hanging out where they're doing. So, waiting for something else to show up. Action 10. These guys have pushed into the bull. Lorraine and the Scorpion G had gone the fucking far way around. They had gone all the way down to the fucking beach and then up. Completely missed the T10. Not sure what the fuck I hit there. Pick up the conch coming up over the hill. Yeah, there we go. Put a nice one in his side for 415. Yeah, that's what I love about this gun. I like that extra alpha. If I had to choose, I would go with the 105 over the 90 mil. This tank plays similar to the AMX Tier 8 Premium TD that we talked about in the garage. So yeah, there is that going for it here. So I'm just waiting for stuff to pop over this edge. Those guys have pushed in there, and we are down 4-7 right now, because why the fuck not? Alright, so let's see if we can slide one over top of the hill. Nope. Picked up the dirt, just missed him. If he would have been just a skosh higher, probably would have picked up the some damage there. Looking here, 430's kind of waiting around. Nope, nothing. 705. Where are you going, T10? I thought hopefully he was coming around the corner here, but he decided not to. So all I can do is just wait. I'm just waiting for shit to show up, shit to pop over the hill. And surprisingly, there's kind of a comeback here. We're 6-7 right now, sitting a little bit better than we were when we were down 4 tanks, I believe. It is what it is. Waiting for the object 430 to show up. T30 would be nice. Oh, that's about the time I notice. Oh, there we go. T10. Come on, buddy. Oh, you fucking backs over the hill. However, out of the blue comes another K-Panzer. Puts a nice shell into him. And we're going to wait here. And I just saw the T10 kind of making his way down here. And let's see here. It's the waiting game. There's the T10. Let's pull it back around. 705 finishes off the T10. And out of the blue, I don't know what he was doing, but he's a derp gun, so we're going to put a shell in him quick here. 7058 gets rammed here. Oh, picks up the SU-101. And we've kind of had a switch here, real quick. However, for fucking some reason, I could not yet to figure out, did you see the reticle jump way the fuck up in there? I don't know why. Sometimes I don't know if it was a ping deal or what, because all of a sudden, yeah. So, pick up the Kanonenjagdpanzer, coming in here, put a shell into him, knock him down to a 1-shot. I'm going to back up in here. Let's see, what are you going to do, buddy? He's going to charge in here. Probably auto-aimed me a little bit. Yeah, nope. Not going to do it. Not going to happen. So, we've cleaned this bunch out over here. There's an action, or a Kanonenjagdpanzer AX, another K-Panzer 105 in the back, T30, 430. We have the tanks, we have the HP. Now it's just a matter of not fucking this up and losing. Always moving with this tank. That's like I said, one of the things about this tank. You know, I love the JP2. It's one of my favorite tanks just because of its mobility. This is, like I said, even more mobile than the Scorpion G. Obviously, the Scorpion G has the advantage of the higher alpha and the turret, but this thing moves around the battlefield actually better than that tank, than the Scorpion G, in my opinion. It's just really mobile, real quick. Up we go, and we got 2 tanks left. Gun's even super accurate on the move, surprisingly. So, like I said, if you're looking for a German tank destroyer that plays different than the other ones, a little bit, specifically do with the 105, picks up the action, the Kanonenjagdpanzer, and we got the 430. He's been kind of a sneaky fuck most of the game. Yeah, your armor don't mean shit. So finish him off. Puts me about 3,700, which should have been probably closer to 45 or maybe even 5K if I had actually hit my shots. But hey, you know, we always do. So last game in the K-Panzer 105, and I am platooned with 2 of my clanmates. We got X and Mill, and both these guys are good players. We're all sporting K-Panzer 105. Yep, the standard B's like, fuck yeah, that's a sexy ass tank, right? Yeah. So heading to the bushes, because that's what you do with this tank. If you're buying anything other than for this thing other than a support tank, you're nuts, right? I mean, if you're playing low tier against a bunch of 6s and 7s, yeah, you can be a little bit more aggressive with it, but you know, for the most part, as long as you don't get spotted, you're fine. So wait for the Scorpion G. No, can't quite slide it past the edge of that hill. Got the STA-1. Oh, there you are. No, didn't finish him off. 57 fucked him up. And we're just going to have to sit here and wait until we see something else. More than anything, we're worried about the WZ-132. Haven't seen the grill. Haven't seen a few of these TDs. So, fuck me, it's not exactly the time to get real aggressive here. So, find the ELC. He's trying to hide in the bush. Oh, if I would have been just over just a hair. I would have had that kill, or had the damage here. So find the LC. He's almost dead. There we go. Put the shell down, and that's typically what kind of gun handling you get the 105. Yeah, I was surprised. It's just a very nice gun. You know, they're both very nice guns. It's just the difference of 240 versus 390. You know, are you going to scare? Are you going to go for scaring the shit out of people? A little bit, or are you going to do? Or do you really like the pew 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 high DPM 90 mil? So now it's time to get rolling here. We got 4 tanks in front. We got 3 pushing, and of course we have Mill and X, who are shortly following me. They're going to be on my tail here. So as soon as they get over here, to start dealing with these 4 tanks. Finally the Wheezy 132 and the AMX 1305 are spotted in mid, and we have a grill that's spotted close to base. So low health tanks first. Pull over, put a shell into the Pershing, put him down to a 1-shot, so when the Mill shows up, yep, Bucky gets him. And now we're going to start working over both these tanks here. We got the Ferdinand 263. They're kind enough not to, you know, give us too much attention here. 263 backs up. Come on, put a shell onto him for almost 400. Mill's got the next shot on him for 405, and I only have just a little bit more to go, and we win. Backs up. Unfortunately, the standard B picks up the 263, and I waste the fucking shell anyway. God damn it. So, on the roll, Scorpion G, Grill, T95. There's all kinds of big alpha guns yet here to deal with, and some of them, like I said, I have no idea how much they are. Pick up the T95 going across, or I shouldn't, how much health they have. Puts a nice shell on them for 343, and we are, like I said, looking for Scorp Gs, and of course the T95. So now the T95's pulled in pretty defensible position. However, like I said, with the grill, the IS-7's still fucking somewhere. Haven't seen him yet. And we'll go, ooh, there we go, Scorpion G. Come on, buddy, back up. Oh, just cannot quite get it over the hill. Yeah, that's sometimes when you're trying to make them real fine shots with this gun. It might troll you, you know, just like every other gun. It's all about RNG. So back up here, can't quite get the 105, and it's time to get moving here. We got the T30 got picked up, the grill got picked up. The IS-7 still hasn't been seen, or he's been seen, but he apparently hasn't moved. So the 13105 is moving. FV183 fucking nails him, and we pick up the grill. T30 off to my right. Oh, there you are, buddy. Neither one of these guys are paying any attention, so yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna drive over here, pick up a nice, 389 on the backside of him, and of course I have the grill here. And now the IS-7, who hasn't fucking moved from that rock, yeah, it's time to kill you, buddy. Pull over here. We're gonna look for Mr. Grill. Put a nice shot into the grill for 373. He misses, and now it's time to finish off Mr. Grill. Hey, Mr. Grill, come here, buddy. There you go. So, all in all, 105 is fine. I mean, I'm going to give it it's still kind of a muh tank. A muh to 1. The 90mm is just plain meh. It is what it is. So, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night. Hope you enjoy.